Hello everyone, myself Tanvi Patel, working as Assistant Professor in Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Subject is Effective Technical Communication and the unit is Technical Communication. So today our outline is Critical and Creative Thinking in Communication. So what is creative thinking? Creative thinking is the ability to consider something in a new way. It might be a new approach to a problem, a resolution to a conflict between employees, or a new result from a dataset. That is creative thinking. So, a way of looking at problems or situations from a fresh perspective that suggests orthodox solution. Creative thinking can be stimulated both by an unstructured process such as brainstorming and by a structured process such as literal thinking. Creative thinking might mean devising new ways to carry out tasks, solve problems, and meet challenges. It means bringing a fresh and sometimes unorthodox perspective to your work. This way of thinking can help departments and organizations be more productive. Next, how creative thinking works. Opportunities for creative thought in the workplace vary from obvious artistic position to highly technical ones. Generally, anything that involves an aha moment is considered creative. Here are some examples of how to display creative thinking in different jobs. That is artistic creativity, creative problem solving, and creativity in STEM. Artistic creativity. You don't have to be an artist for your work to have an artistic element. Perhaps you arrange retail display for maximum impact or shape the path of an ethical hiking trails. Other artistically creative tasks might include designing logos, writing advertising copy, creating the packaging for a product, or drafting a phone script for a fundraiser drive. That is artistic creativity. Next is creative problem solving. Creative problem solving stands out as innovative, means something new or something innovative, that is creativity. A creative problem solver will find new solution rather than simply identifying and implementing the norm. You might brainstorm new ways to reduce energy use, find new ways to cut cost during a budget crisis, or develop a unique litigation strategy to defend a client. Next, creativity in STEM. Some people think of science and engineering as the opposite of art and creativity. That is not true. The field of science, technology, engineering, and math are highly creative. Designing a more effective assembly like robot, writing an innovative new computer program, or developing a testable hypothesis are all highly creative acts. The history of science and technology is filled with projects that did not work, not because of errors in technique or methodology, but because people remain stuck in their assumptions and old habits. STEM field need creative to flourish and grow. Next is characteristics of critical thinking. Few characteristics of critical thinking is creative thinkers are communicators. That is, creativity and confidence are expressed in many ways through both listening and communicating. Creativity and confidence are expressed in many ways through both listening and communicating. Next, type, they are open minded. An open minded is a mind that appreciates circumstances, is ready for new solutions and ideas, and is not afraid of evaluating prospects. An open minded person is willing to learn from both successes and mistakes, being able to grow and develop. Next, they are risk takers. Exploring new ideas and strategies is impossible without risk taking, as a willingness to face challenges and accept change. Creative thinkers are resilient and they aren't afraid of taking a chance, knowing that one needs to be brave when exploring innovative and original ways of thinking about and solving problems. They know that leaving a comfort zone is sometimes necessary to succeed, even if it means facing the unknown. Now, next is they are knowledgeable. To develop an understanding of things and situation, you need a background story. Knowledge allows creative thinker to see the full picture, which is why they know a lot about the sector they work in. Next, they are flexible. Abilities to adapt to changes and think outside the usual patterns are part of creative thinking, which is why being flexible is a characteristic trait of creative thinkers. They welcome changes, they aren't afraid of changing their methods of work, and they are good at working with others. Now, types of creative thinking. Creative thinking is expressed in several ways. Here are some of the type of creative thinking you might see in the workplace. Analysis, open-mindedness, problem solving, organization and communication. So first is analysis. Before thinking creatively about something, you first have to be able to understand it. Means you should understand the problem first, then you should go deep into that problem. This requires the ability to examine things carefully to know what they mean. Whether you are looking at a text, a data set, a lesson plan, or an equation, you need to be able to analyze it first. Next is open mindedness. To think creativity, set aside any assumptions or biases you may have and look at things in a completely new way. By coming to a problem with an open mind, you allow yourself to chance to think creatively. Next is problem solving. Employers want creative employee who will help them to solve work related issues. When faced with a problem, consider ways that you can solve it before asking for help. If you need the input of a manager, suggest solutions rather than just presenting the problem. Next is organization. This might seem counterintuitive. Aren't creative people known for being somewhat disorganized? Actually, organization is an essential part of creativity. While you might need to get a bit messy when trying out a new idea, you need to organize your idea so others will understand and follow through your vision. Next is communication. People will only appreciate your creative idea or solution if you communicate it effectively. You need to have strong written and oral communication skills. You also need to be able to understand a situation fully before thinking creatively about it. That means you also need to be a good listener first so that you can create something different and communicate with others. Now, benefits of creative thinking. The main benefits are increase your self confidence, solve problems more effectively, earn respect, be an innovator, make a difference, and be more successful at work. These are the benefits of creative thinking. Now, next, what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is the act of analyzing fact to understand a problem or topic thoroughly. Critical thinking often occurs in order of a few steps from identifying a problem or issue to develop a solution. Critical thinking skills are essential in every industry at every career level, from entry level associate to top executive. Good critical thinkers will work both independently and with groups to solve problems. Next, here are common steps that occur when using critical thinking for problem solving. First, identify a problem or issue. Create inference on why the problem exists and how it can be solved. Collect information or data on the issues through research. Organize and sort data and findings. Develop and execute solutions. Analyze what solutions worked or did not work. Identify ways to improve the solution. Next, why are critical thinking skills important? Critical thinking skills are important because they help businesses run smoothly by solving problems, developing solutions, and creating new ideas. Next, many areas of improvement like process, inefficiencies, management, or finance can be improved by using critical thought. Because of this, employers value and seek out candidates who have demonstrated strong critical thinking skill. For example, if you are working in human resources and must resolve a conflict between two employees, you will use critical thinking to understand the nature of the conflict and what action should be taken to resolve this problem. Next, steps of critical thinking. First, identify the problem or question. Be as precise as possible. The narrower the issue, the easier it is to find solution or answer. Next is gather data, options and arguments. Try to find several sources that present different ideas and points of view. Third one, analyze and evaluate the data. First, you should have a question: are the sources reliable? Are their conclusion data backed or just argumentative? Is there enough information or data to support given hypothesis? These are the questions which you should evaluate while analyzing the data. Next is identify assumptions. Here your question arises: are you sure the resources you founded are unbiased? Are you sure you weren't biased in your researches for questions? These are the questions when you identify the assumptions. Next, establish significance. What price of information is most important? Is the sample size sufficient? Are all opinions and arguments even relevant to the problem you are trying to solve? Next, make a decision or reach a conclusion. Identify various conclusions that are possible and decide which of them are sufficiently supported. Weigh strength and limitations of all possible options. Next, present or communicate. Once you have reached a conclusion, present it to all your stakeholders. Now next, critical thinking skills. There are several various critical thinking skills you may find valuable to include. Few examples are observation, analysis, inference, communication and problem solving. So, first is observation. Observational skills are the starting point for critical thinking. Employees who are observant can quick sense and identify a new problem. Those skilled in observation are also capable of understanding why something might be a problem and may even be able to predict when a problem might occur before it happens based on their experience. Next is analysis. Once a problem has been identified, analysis skill become essential. The ability to analyze the situation includes knowing what fact, data, or information about the problem are important. You will also find analysis in an essential skill to eventually solve the problems. Next, inference. Inference is a skill that involves drawing conclusion about the information you collect and may require you to possess technical or industrial specification, knowledge or experience. Next is communication. Communication skills are important when it comes time to explain and discuss issues and their possible solutions with colleagues and other stakeholders. Communication is an important skill to have and improve on for many purposes at work, including critical thinking. Next, problem solving. After you have identified a problem, analyzed it, and discussed possible solution, the final step is to execute the solution. Problem solving often requires critical thinking to implement the best solution and understand whether or not the solution is working as it relates to the goal. So next is how to improve your critical thinking skill. It is possible to improve your critical thinking skill through practice and extended educational opportunities. To improve your critical thinking skill, considering taking some of the following steps. First, expand your industry specific or technical skill to help you more easily identify problems. Next, take additional courses in your industry that require critical thinking and analysis. Actively volunteer to solve problems to your current employer. Seek advice for professionals in your field or desired industry. And lastly, play solo and cooperative games that require critical thinking skill such as analysis and intent files. These are the some type of critical thinking skills that will improve your opportunities for the job and the other purposes. Thank you.